Hey folks, I'm Sam Faddis, and this is Ground Truth, where we try to get past the hype and the spin and the nonsense that passes for news these days and talk about reality. Today we're talking about Mexico, illegal pipeline taps, and cartels. 10 days ago, there was a horrible explosion at an illegal pipeline tap in Mexico. At least 114 people dead. Dozens more remain hospitalized. Terrible news, horrifying event, and yet only a tiny piece of a much more massive, much more troubling problem. The Mexicans, through the first 10 months of last year, 2018, discovered in excess of 12,000 such taps across the country. Those are just the ones they found. They have no idea how many more are out there, but they estimate that roughly 30 new taps are being punched into gasoline pipelines in the country every day. This has been going on for a while in Mexico. When it began years ago, it was sort of the work of low-level thieves who would steal relatively limited quantities of fuel, maybe use it locally, maybe resell it. It wasn't that big of a deal. No more. It is now huge business. Pemex, the Mexican oil company, national oil company, estimates it's now losing $1.5 billion a year to this kind of theft. And it is increasingly, this business, now under the control of Mexican drug cartels. So this is no longer a matter of a guy with a pickup truck going out and filling a barrel with gas. This is now an organized effort involving fleets of trucks, heavily armed individuals, and immense quantities of gasoline being stolen. In fact, the Mexicans increasingly find entire gas stations that they have to put out of business because the gas stations sell only fuel supplied to them by the cartels, all of it stolen. The Mexicans are trying to figure out ways to deal with this. There's been some discussion about the idea of moving fuel in tank cars and taking it out of pipelines entirely. That's probably doomed to failure because organized crime in Mexico has already started derailing entire freight trains and looting them of their contents. What this illustrates is that drug cartels in Mexico are no longer simply involved in the cultivation, production, and movement of illegal drugs. They are now diversifying, they are now expanding, they are now increasingly undertaking to control the natural resources of Mexico and, in effect, take control of its economy. Very, very disturbing trend. Very, very terrifying direction. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Ground Truth.